For a small family, 4 to 5 member, kids and wife and husband, okay, how much a monthly approximate average expense to live here?
And if the government's been providing you and your family medical care before you're asking for a green card.
So what are the easiest and quickest criteria with the time frame? So you will help us to get such type of business?
Yes.
What is the success percentage of your cases? What is the minimum investment required, and what are the process, if you can brief quickly? My name is Dr. Nauman Munir, President and CEO Eskillvisor. Today I'm in the office of Visa franchise in Miami Beach. I'm sitting with Patrick today, and on all the Pakistanis living in Pakistan and in Gulf area, I'm asking some questions from Visa franchise owner Patrick, so that he can guide us that whether Pakistanis as an investor or as a skilled labor, how they can come to United States and get their PR and their green card. First of all, thank you so much, Patrick, for having me in your office in Miami. Please introduce yourself to the Pakistani audience.
No, appreciate it. So a little bit about us. My brother and I started Visa franchise back in 2015, so it's been 9 years now. And we've helped hundreds of investors and professionals from around the world, including from Pakistan, move to the US. And we're always looking for the fastest, most economical option to move to the United States. And our main focus is on entrepreneurs, business owners, as well as professionals, high skilled labor, advanced degree holders looking to move to the US.
So I have some questions on the basis of Pakistanis. So how a Pakistani who has investment to get an investor visa and he wants to move his family here to United States, how they can come, or how those who have professional qualification, okay, those people can come? So what are the easiest and quickest criteria with the time frame?
Definitely. So the most straightforward one is the E2 visa. And luckily, Pakistan has a treaty of commerce and navigation with the United States, which allows Pakistani investors to move to the US with their family, spouse, as well as kids up to 21 years old are able to. And for advanced degree holders, there are a lot of options, such as the O1 visa. So if you're at the top of your field, whether you're a software engineer, electrical engineer, largely STEM professionals, and you meet certain criteria, we're able to sponsor your visa, act as your business manager, and help you seek employment in the United States so you can work at different jobs without being tied to one employer, as well as a fast track to getting the green card through the EB-1A procedure or the EB-2NIW. EB-1A is closer to a year. EB-2NIW, we're looking at 2 to 3 years to obtain a green card.
So for E2 visa, what is the minimum investment required, and what are the process, if you can brief quickly, and what are the steps for that?
There's no minimum amount, but generally over $80,000 invested in a small business. You have to show that the business isn't marginal. It's not just providing income for you and your family. There should be some impact with US job creation. It can be any type of business. So if you already have a business in the United States, if you don't know what business to invest in, we can support with franchise investments. But luckily the framework is pretty flexible, but you need to invest in a business at least $80,000. So consulting practices and some businesses aren't a great fit for the E2 visa.
How much time it will take to complete this process and move to United States?
I would budget in 3 to 6 months from the time you engage our services for structuring the business, getting the tax ID, business bank account, business plan, selecting the business, until you apply for the visa and get accepted at the embassy in Islamabad. We're talking about a 3 to 6 month process to move to the United States with the E2 visa.
So what will be the next process after arriving on E2 visa with family? Okay, how we can move and how quickly we can move to green card?
Definitely. So for those that have a bachelor's degree plus 5 years of progressive working experience or an advanced degree, it's pretty more straightforward process getting the EB-2NIW green card. If you don't have a bachelor's but you're really accomplished in your field, there are ways that you can also be eligible for this green card category. But we're gonna if your end goal is a green card, there are certain businesses and industries or that create a lot of American jobs and are of the national interest. We can commence a process not so long after you receive your first initial E2 visa.
For a small family, 4 to 5 member, kids and wife and husband, okay, how much a monthly approximate average expense to live here?
Yeah, good question. I think it depends on where you're going to live. You know, if you're going to live in the suburbs of Houston, which there's some great areas in the Houston metropolitan area, it could be half the price as living in a suburb in Miami. So maybe in one of those suburbs, 5-6K a month, where here in South Florida, we're looking more like $12,000 a month, if not more. So a lot's going to depend on your lifestyle, but also where you decide to live in the United States. Miami, where we're here, has gotten very expensive. It's hot on the map, but there are some places in the United States, I mentioned North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, parts of Florida, that are a lot more affordable.
My calculation is also like $6,000 to $8,000 a month. It's a good source of income and good spending for a living.
Yeah, I advise you got to get to $10,000 a month that you and your spouse are earning. So whatever it takes to, obviously hit 5K and then hit $10,000 a month that you and your spouse are earning, those are critical steps to get to.
So you will help us to get such type of business?
Yes. So yeah, we've done studies in terms of the franchises and Visa franchise portfolio, and then our sister company, Vetted Biz, there's 7,000 opportunities. So we have all the data to show, what the average sales are, what the income thresholds are for a lot of these different concepts that are disclosed by the franchisor. But that's the key. If you're working full time in a business and you're making less than 5K, there's better opportunities out there.
So what are the benefits after getting E2 visa and landing to United States? What type of benefits I can get, like hospitals, like kids, medical facility, education, and this all? Can you explain a bit?
Yeah, it's going to depend on the state. So there's states like California that are going to be a lot more flexible and a lot more medical coverage is paid for by the state. But at the other end, you have to be careful. You're trying to.
A lot of taxes also in California.
A lot of taxes, and then you're asking for a green card. And if the government's been providing you and your family medical care before you're asking for a green card, you could run into issues. So you want to be as self-sufficient as possible, and I think that's one of the ethos of the U.S. And coming from Pakistan, you're used to it. You're not relying on the government handouts, I'd imagine. So you want to budget as a family like $1,000 a month for medical insurance. But if one of the spouses is working, generally health insurance is covered, or they're covering at least 70-75%.
Yes.
So either one of the spouses is working and it's pretty much covered, or as an entrepreneur, budget in $1,000 a month to cover your family.
And how about education of the kids?
We have great public schools, and a big part's going to depend where you're living, what suburb you're in, and you're eligible to send your kids to public school, as well as in certain states that your kids will be in-state tuition. It could be after a year of living. I believe Texas is 3 years you have to be living before they're eligible for in-state college tuition. So keep that in mind, where if you have a 13-year-old, better move now so they can get in-state tuition depending on where you're going to be living.
So for the age limit is less than 21 years?
Less than 21. Yeah.
So you will help us to get such type of business?
Yeah.
The education from the public school?
Definitely.
And then in college
until high school, and then college you have to pay. There's some great, community college that then you go and you feed into a great state school. But until 21, and I think the E2 is a nice visa to test. If you like it here in the United States, most of our clients switch to a green card, but 20%, maybe up to 30%, they spend some years here and then they go back home. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can get the U.S. experience for a few years and then go back to Pakistan, or you decide after a while you like it here, and then we'll work on a way with your attorney to transition to a green card.
What is the success percentage of your cases?
Yeah, so first time interview, about 92%, which is the government stats for final approval rate. But our final approval rate, so that means you've tried twice, applying for the E2 visa, is 99%. So we've had just 2 people denied ever in the last 9 years since 2015 that applied twice for the E2 visa and were denied after a second attempt. And we offer a money-back guarantee that if that happens to you and you try twice and you haven't had prior, criminal records and a couple other things we want to see from your end, we're happy to refund you our professional our fees, our professional fees, as well as the fees you paid directly to your immigration attorney.
So I have one request to you. On behalf of all Pakistanis, from today onward, they should get a special treatment and special discount from you.
We'll see what we can do for our friends in Pakistan.
Guys, I'm requesting Patrick to come with me to Islamabad. So we will have very soon, inshallah, we will have a seminar conducted in Islamabad. Are you agreed to come with me?
I'd love to.
Yeah, we will plan it.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So thank you so much for your time.